You do it every single day. Probably did it 5 minutes ago. You type something like google.com into your browser, hit enter, and boom, a website appears. Magic, done. You don't even think about it. But here's the weird part. Your browser? It has absolutely no clue where google.com is. None. Zero. It's like asking your sat-nav to take you to the vibes. It needs an actual address. And the actual address of Google looks like this. Yeah, that's it. That's Google's real address on the internet. Not exactly catchy, is it? Imagine memorizing that for every website you use. You need to be Einstein crossed with a human calculator. Your brain would just leave. So, how does the internet take the nice, friendly name you typed and turn it into this ugly string of numbers? The answer is DNS, the Domain Name System. And honestly, it's one of the most clever things humans have ever built. It's basically the internet's phone book. Except unlike actual phone books, people still use it. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what happens in that tiny fractions of seconds between hitting enter and seeing a page. And fair warning, once you see how this works, you're going to feel slightly betrayed that nobody explained it to you sooner. So, let's get into it. So, every device connected to the internet has an address. Not a street address with a postcode, but an IP address. A series of numbers, like a phone number, but for computers. That's Google, and here's YouTube, and here's Wikipedia. See the problem? If you had to memorize this for every website, you wouldn't be browsing the internet. You would be studying for a math exam you never sign up for. So, humans did what humans always do when something is annoying. We built a system to do it for us. That system is DNS. Think of it like the contacts app on your phone. You don't ring your mum by typing in her 11-digit number from memory. You just tap mom, and your phone goes, "Yeah, I know who that is," and connects you. DNS does exactly the same thing. You type google.com. DNS goes, "Yeah, I know where that is," and sends your browser to IP address. Except DNS does this for literally billions of requests every single day. It's the most popular phone book in history, and it doesn't even have a cover. Alright, so here's where it gets fun. When you type google.com and hit enter, your browser doesn't just shout into the void and hope for the best. It starts a very organized treasure hunt. A series of questions asked to different servers until it gets the answer. And honestly, it's passing a note around class until it reaches the right person. Very year 7 energy. Step 1. Your browser checks its own memory first. Have I been to this website recently? If yes, brilliant. It already knows the IP address. Job done. No need to ask anyone. This is called the browser cache. And it's basically your browser's cheat sheet. But if it's not in the cache, time to ask for help. Step 2. Your browser asks a DNS resolver. This is usually run by your internet provider. PT, Virgin, Sky, whoever's charging you way too much for your Wi-Fi. Think of the resolver as that one friend who knows everyone. You ask them a question and either they already know the answer or they know exactly who to ask. Now, the resolver might already know from a previous lookup. But if it doesn't, it goes on a little adventure. Step 3. The resolver asks a root server. And this is where it gets probably impressive. there are only 13 sets of root servers in the entire world. 13. Running the whole internet. That's fewer servers than there are people in WhatsApp group chat about a holiday. That's never going to happen. The root server doesn't actually know where google.com lives. It's too important for that. It's like asking the CEO of Royal Mail where your specific parcel is. They don't know. But they know who handles .com addresses. So it says, not my department. Go ask the .com server. Step 4. The resolver asks the TLD server. TLD stands for top-level domain. That's the last bit of address, like .com, .org, .co.uk. Each one has its own dedicated server. It's like each country having its own post office. The TLD server still doesn't know the exact IP address. Honestly, it's like dealing with a bureaucracy. But it knows which server is the official final authority for google.com. So, it points the resolver there. Step 5. The resolver finally reaches the authoritative name server. This is the one that actually has the answer. It's the person at the end of the phone chain who exactly knows what's going on. And it says, wait, google.com? Yeah, that's this IP address. Here you go. And now your browser has the number it needs. It can finally make the connection. The whole thing, all 5 steps, typically happens in under 100 milliseconds. That's faster than a blink, literally. A human blink takes about 300 milliseconds. DNS did a 5-step worldwide treasure hunt in a third of a blink. Absolutely mental. Now, if this 5-step lookup happened every single time anyone visited any website, the internet would be slower than that one friend who takes 45 minutes to order at Nando's. So, DNS uses caching everywhere at every level. Your browser caches the answer, your operating system caches it, the resolver caches it, even your Wi-Fi router is quietly caching things in the background like a digital squirrel holding nuts for winter. Each cached answer comes with a timer called TTL. Time to live. Sounds dramatic, like a spy movie. But all it means is this answer is valid for 300 seconds. After that, go ask again. This is why when a big website moves to a new servers, it can take hours for everyone around the world to see the change. The old answer is still sitting in a millions of caches going. Nah, I'm still valid, mate. And this is also why, have you tried clearing your cache? It's genuinely good advice and not just something IT people say to buy time. When you clear your DNS cache, you're forcing your computer to do a fresh lookup instead of relying on an answer that might be stale. It's like deleting your ex number so your phone stops auto-suggesting it. Now, when the authoritative server gives back an answer, it's not just a one number scribbled on a napkin. It's a proper record, a structured piece of data. And there are different types for different jobs. The most common is an A record. A stands for address. It's the classic. It maps a name to an IP address, like google.com. A record is an IP address, like this. Simple. Then there is a CNAME record, canonical name. Fancy way of saying this is an alias. It's like when someone has a nickname, like www.google.com, it's just a CNAME pointing to a google.com. It's like same person, different name. MX records handle email routing. They tell the internet where to deliver emails for a domain. And AAAA records? Right. So the original IP addresses, the ones we have been looking at, those are IPv4. Short, simple, 4 numbers. But here's the thing. There are only about 4.3 billion possible IPv4 addresses. That sounds like loads in 1980s. But then we connected phones, laptops, tablets, watches, doorbells, fridges, and for some reason toothbrushes to the internet. And we ran out of the numbers. So they created IPv6, much longer addresses with basically unlimited combinations. And the AAAA record? It's literally the same thing as the A record. It maps a name to an IP address, just a longer one. Same job, bigger phone book. But that's a deeper story for another day. You absolutely do not need to memorize this. The key thing is DNS isn't just a one answer. It's a whole filing system that tells the internet how to route traffic to the right place. So that's how DNS works behind the scenes. But I don't want you to just take my words for it. So let me just show you this happening live right now on an actual computer. No tricks. Alright, I'm in my terminal. Let's do a real DNS lookup. Boom, there it is. It came back with the IP address. And it's telling us which DNS server answered the question. That's our resolver doing its job. Now, let's get fancy. There's a command called dig that gives us the full behind-the-scenes look. Look at all the details. You can see the A record we just talked about, the TTL, that's our countdown timer, and the query time. Look at that. A few milliseconds. The entire 5-step treasure hunt we just talked about. And here's my favorite bit. Watch what happens if I run the exact same command again right away. The query time dropped to basically 0. That's the cache kicking in. The resolver went, oh, you want google.com again? I literally just looked this up 2 seconds ago. I still got the answer right here. This is happening behind the scenes every single time you open a website. Thousands of times a day. And you never see it. It's like finding out your phone has been doing calculus every time you open Instagram. Quietly brilliant. So let's bring it all together. DNS is the system that translates the names we typed into the numbers computers need. Your browser asks a resolver, which might ask root servers, TLD servers, and authoritative servers until it gets the answer. The whole thing takes milliseconds, and the answer gets cached everywhere to keep things fast. It's invisible when it works, which is basically always. And without it, you would be memorizing IP addresses like some kind of numbers servant. And nobody wants that life. But here's the thing. DNS only gets you the address. What happens next? How does your browser actually knock on the door and say, "Oi, give me the website"? That's HTTP. And it's basically a secret handshake between your browser and the server. That's the next episode. And trust me, it's even more interesting than this one. If you enjoyed this or learned something new, hit that like button. And if you want more videos like this, where I can break down how the internet actually works, subscribe. I'm posting new episodes every week. And next up is HTTP. Share this with that one friend who thinks the internet just works by magic. They need this. I'm Mrs.Compile. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.